I'm Andrew Elvish. I am the Global Vice President of Marketing at Genetec. Been with Genetec now for 14 years, so I've seen a lot of change in the industry. I have a global remit, so I oversee all of our marketing communications activities all around the world, so I get to talk with journalists like you all the time, so it's a pleasure to be here. Genetec's flagship product is Security Center. Security Center is our massive, open, unified platform that we've been bringing to market over many, many years. It's only getting better. Every year it just gets better. That's our flagship product, but every year we add new things into the flagship product. This year at Intersec, I'm really excited about the fact that we're bringing our CloudLink product to market. So for those of you who don't know, CloudLink is our new appliance that allows end users to actually decide how much or how little of their data transits to the cloud. So it allows integrators to really design systems that respect data sovereignty, data residency, and make decisions about how and where you store video, access control, intercom, alarm, data, such that it doesn't have to transit to a data center. But the really interesting thing, Arun, is that you can get all the goodness of the cloud into that appliance. So updates, cybersecurity patches, new AI features, new capabilities, so you don't have to do these big updates. So our flagship product, it's always been what it was. Everybody knows Security Center, but every year it just gets better and better and better. And this year is no different. Absolutely. The industry, as you know, has changed massively over the last 10 years. We're seeing security professionals really wanting to do more with the data that their systems collect. They don't just want a system that helps them solve a slip and fall accident. They want to be strategic parts of the businesses, governments, cities that they belong to. So they're looking more to platforms like Genetec Security Center to provide them with insights into how their business is run. So they want to understand what's going on. What is the metabolism of our business? How can we be better at what we do? So we're getting a lot more demand for ways to leverage the investment in security to do things like make trips through airports smoother, make businesses run better, make retail shopping easier for the consumer, make cities more livable for the citizens. This is the outcomes that people are looking for, and I think the days of security professionals spending time talking about 4 megapixel, 6, whatever, speeds and feeds, those are behind us. And what we're looking at more now is what is the bigger picture of what this data can do for the end user. That's getting very interesting with the introduction of artificial intelligence. I think you brought up a really interesting thing, which is the difference between the United Arab Emirates and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I want to start with what unites them first, because what unites them is this ambition, really strong vision for the future, but not just a sort of wishy-washy vision, a really defined roadmap to a future that they both want to achieve. But there's big differences between both of them. If I look at what's going on in our business in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I see, very large, sort of almost a geological scale projects, right? Like building entire cities, building entire environments, a really big push to modernize their infrastructure around, the internet, cloud, AI, bringing in partners, a very open, outward-facing, view of the world. Also, a lot of emphasis on their, sort of governmental safety for citizens, putting a huge emphasis on that in KSA. On the other side, UAE, well, not totally different than that, UAE is a very business-focused environment, right? So what we're seeing in UAE is a big focus on multinational corporations. We're seeing a big focus on the experience of citizens within the cities. Abu Dhabi and Dubai are great examples of it, making sure citizens have seamless, smooth experiences of the city that brings in tourists and people feel excited about it. And they're looking to companies like Genetec, who have the scale and the engineering prowess to deliver on these two very different but very powerful viewpoints. And I would also say UAE is probably a little bit further ahead in their adoption and embrace of the cloud, but I don't think the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is very behind. So I would say these are some of the areas where we're seeing, the differences between the two, but both of them, it's a world of opportunity in both countries. I'm very excited about AI, but I would wager 90% of this show floor, most of their AI exists only in press releases. But I say that with love. We all have to have big ideas. I think the thing about Genetec is that Genetec takes a really pragmatic view of artificial intelligence. In fact, we see it as a tool. It's a means to an end. We encourage security professionals and end users to think about the outcomes that they're after, because that's where AI is really going to shine, because it's a powerful tool. So what we've done is we've talked to our end users, our channel partners, to get an idea of where they see AI excelling. And we've also used our own innovative thinking around that. So think about things like investigations. Investigations in the past could take up to 4, 5, 8, 12 hours. They're very complex. You have to go through massive amounts of video surveillance data, access control data, potentially ALPR data to build a compelling investigation dossier. You can do that now in less than 10 minutes. That's a massive time savings. And what does that mean? It means that when an incident happens, you can get to doing the investigation and get to resolution even faster. And that makes a huge difference. And then when we say think about the outcomes, that's the kind of outcomes we want to go after. Another outcome, making sure alarms are more meaningful. A lot of security professionals deal with a ton of noise in terms of alarms. How can we leverage the work we're doing with artificial intelligence such that those alarms can be more meaningful, that we can understand the context of the alarms? And not only that, how can we start workflows that will allow the alarms to be addressed by the security professionals, and we can track it every step of the way? This is where we're really bringing value with our AI research teams, and where we're going to deliver even more value. Now, I know it's not like a snazzy press release, but that's the way Genetec does things. And we really, really believe that the value will come from intelligent automation and not just making a lot of noise around AI. I'm not sure if it'll be different, Arun. I think it'll be, to your point, there'll be an expansion. We'll be looking at new people to bring into the fold. For instance, there's been a big push on leveraging artificial intelligence and data alerts from social media, web, and other sort of early alert systems. So we've brought on a new partner called Data Miner, who's giving our end users the ability to really understand what's happening around their facilities. And that's a tech partnership that we'll be able to share with all of our channel partners and end users. And that's kind of the thinking. We want to find new people to bring into the tent. But then you look at our camera manufacturers. You look at a camera manufacturer like IQSight, formerly Bosch. They're bringing in really powerful new AI features that allow, really interesting, capabilities of doing searches that dovetail with Security Center really nicely. So we want to be present for partners like IQSight, Bosch, Hanwha, Vivotech, such that we can ingest their technologies really quickly and in a meaningful way. So to us, this is going to be a big difference in the years to come, because we're seeing everything speed up. So new partners are coming in to the tent. And actually the partners who are already in the tent, they're innovating just like we are. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we're taking full value of that innovation. I've been really happy to know that Genetec, based on feedback from our partners, and I didn't force them to do it, but the feedback has always been so strong about how Genetec makes sure we lead with our channel partners, that innovation goes to them first. They know about it and they go forward. But more than that, we've introduced something called Genetec University. We introduced that several years ago, but we've been growing the university courses every month, and such that our integrators and their techs and their account people, they can self-serve their training, and we can bring the latest technology training to them really quickly. So our learning management system that we've been using has been essential in keeping our partners up to date. And more than that, if you talk to any of our partners here in the Middle East, Turkey, Africa, you'll know that we do a very, very significant channel event every single year where we bring them together with all of the product leadership from Montreal, all of our product management team, our developers, so that they can ask the questions they need, so that they can understand the nuances of deploying Security Center in the Middle East and the specific context of the Middle East. So yes, we're changing things, but we've always been an innovative company, so our partners know to expect a pretty steep learning curve every time. We have no shortage of partners that want to bring deals, that bring us into deals. I think the thing that we do mostly at Genetec is we say, no, we already have great channel partners. So we're really, as a company, we put an emphasis on our existing channel partners. We don't want somebody to come in and say, I have one deal, I want you to certify me so I could go in and compete with your existing channels. What we do is we want to be sure our channel partners are at the forefront of the game, that they're going out there and identifying those opportunities to bring artificial intelligence to the table. Those cloud opportunities where the cloud link can be a really powerful addition. Those opportunities where we can bring our partners to the table, whether that's Axis or Hanwha or HID or Mercury. This is a big deal for us that we want to make sure when we look at the growth we expect for our own company, that we can be confident that our partners will grow as much as we do. So we want it to be a win-win. And becoming a Genetec partner is not easy, right? It's expensive, it takes time, it takes dedication, it takes resources. So we're not going to make it, cutthroat competition for them by bringing in a whole bunch of other partners. We're going to honor their effort and we're going to make them successful in what they do.